Good evening, welcome to this evening's edition of the Evening Review Show. My name is Jemima Bekus, your host for this evening. Today we have in studio Lize Ehlers, the Deputy Chairperson of the National Arts Council Literature Committee. Lize was one of the people that organized the two-day literary festival, the first of its kind for Namibia, and she's here to talk to us about the highs of that festival and future plans for the committee. Thank you for joining us, Lize.
Thank you for having me, Jemima.
So Lize, for the benefit of the viewers who don't know you, can you just tell us who is Lize Ehlers?
Well, Lize Ehlers is known as a singer-songwriter and the founder of Song Night, but Lize Ehlers as an actor and writer has been very part and parcel of the movement of literature and lyrics in this country. So I've been very involved in the scene for a very long time. But when I received my appointment letter in 2020 from the National Arts Council of Namibia to be part of the literature committee, I was very, very excited to join. And then as a result, I was selected or elected as the deputy chair under the phenomenal Sarala Krishnamurti, who is our chairperson. And since then, we've been planning non-stop. We've been working around the clock to organize this festival as sort of the cherry on the top for the work that we've been doing for the last 3 years.
You've just said you have worked around the clock. Can you share with us a bit of an extensive look into the backstory of this festival? When did it start? Yeah. How did things go, and how did you get to this?
I think it was on the agenda, or can we say our task list to do the festival from the beginning. When we got when our inception was in 2020, we said, first of all, we want to start a literature database, which was actually the brainchild of one of our committee members, the late and great Mrs. Jane Kachavivi. She was the one who said we need, as part of our mandate, to start a literature committee database. And then with the help of Helvi and Veronique and Michael Pulse, people from the industry, storytellers, and of course the great administrator of the National Arts Council, Ms. Greta Kaspar, and also the Director of Arts at the Directorate of Arts, Ms. Mkariko Amagulu. We had weekly, then monthly meetings, and we said, first of all, what is our mandate? And it was to celebrate and to pull people into Namibian literature. And we asked, how can we do that? And then we decided we are going to have a creative writing competition. So I think 2 weeks before the festival, a week before the festival launch, but a week after it, we called out, what was the category? Junior, senior, and public category, not only for creative writing of short stories, but also for poetry. And we crowned our winners at the festival very proudly. And I mean, the first place won 6,000 Namibian dollars, second place 3,000. We actually had a joint second place for the public category of short stories. And then we had a third place winner, and we had some commendable writers as well. But we saw how much work there is still to do, Jemima. We need to talk to teachers, tell them what short stories are. Because as part of our festival, we actually had the phenomenal Mrs. Sylvia Schlettwein. She did a workshop on short story writing. And I myself, as someone who's been writing poetry and scripts and lyrics for over 15 years, she shocked me with how much I was writing in the explanatory form. I was explaining what my characters are doing instead of showing through the characters' voices how their story could come to life. So even myself, as someone who's been writing for such a long time, it was such a refresher for me. Now imagine what that would do to teachers who are embarking or sharing that knowledge with the scholars. And one of the big things was having so many scholars on Friday at the festival.
You also had Ms. Margie Orford.
Yes.
Is she going to work with this committee? Are you going to reach out to her as an acclaimed, renowned author from Namibia in your quest to promote literature?
we're absolutely going to reach out to her. She was a phenomenal speaker. She did our keynote address on day one, and she said herself that she was so proud to come back to her home country, Namibia, and attend a literary festival and present a workshop on crime fiction. I was so entertained by how she said, any person that, you know, makes you upset or just is rude in your life, you should just kill them in your stories. You just find a way to murder them in your crime fiction. And it was such a beautiful confirmation of how art can be such a healer and such a processor. Because imagine somebody has wronged you in life. You're not going to go out there and be violent and crazy, but you can turn them into a character and do anything to them in your crime fiction novel. And I think that is such a healthy way of dealing with things that happens in your life. So Margie definitely said we can reach out to her. She was very, very happy with the festival. She said she was very proud. And she even mentioned Mrs. Jane Kachavivi was one of her mentors when she started writing decades ago. And this was the reason we gave Honorable Peter Kachavivi and his lovely son Piravi, we gave their beautiful, beautiful mother and wife, Jane Kachavivi, the Lifetime Achievement Award on Saturday, right after we awarded all the winners of the creative writing competition.
Can you share with us like the highs of this festival and obviously some of the challenges that you think you need to address going forward?
I think the highs included the beautiful and passionate stories or speeches that were shared by Mrs. Sanet Steenkamp from the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Margie's speech on how writing has changed her life, and I think Miss Helen Vale and Sylvia Schletwein, Mr. Hugh Ellis, their talks, their workshops were so life-changing that many people who've been writing, they also attended together with the scholars and the teachers. And I think the high was how much work there is still left to do, and it's exciting that we as a community can come together and say, but we can write, and we're willing to improve on our writing. And we just want to do this annually and say there is $6,000 waiting for you if you allow your imagination and your ability to write short stories and poems come to life. So that was the highlight for me, all the workshops. Absolutely phenomenal. The content, the process, phenomenal. Then I think having 250 people register, when you know, we had many more people coming, especially the scholars we had on Friday, but 250 people's lives were touched by the literary festival. And I think having it at our beautiful new home, the National Archives, is such a great idea. We will of course rethink next year's layout, because we want everybody to feel like it's an easy access. It's a beautiful shaded space. There's so many vendors and bookstores. We just wanted to feel like 2 days of celebration of Namibian literature.
Speaking about the National Archives as the venue, why did you pick the National Archives in particular? And also, do you think there's what is your view on reading culture in Namibia?
Well, we definitely chose the National Archives because of awareness. We feel it was our duty as the Literature Committee to create more awareness around the powerful material that is available at the archives and at the National Library. And a lot of people confuse the National Libraries as the one in town opposite the court, but in fact, NLAS, as we know it, the Namibian Libraries and Archives Association, is right there on Marian Gobi Street, very close to Trusco and Informante, and we want people to come and feel home. I mean, there's free Wi-Fi, walk in, sit and do your studies, get a book, go and do some research at the archives. And we felt that that was a very good fit to bring the National Literary Festival of Namibia to have a home at NLAS.
So what are your future projects that you're working on? And also speaking about this being an annual venture,
yes.
Are you looking at traveling the country with this festival?
That would definitely be something in the future pipelines. I think our main focus at the moment is still updating the literature database that we launched at the festival, because Ms. Helen Vale said she still has over 150 Namibian books that she would like to load onto the website, so the database. So that is our first job on the job card. And then second of all, we're doing a massive post-mortem to see how we can improve on the festival, especially because we had local performers such as Waters. We had the monologue competition, which was such a hit. We had the phenomenal Senga Brokarov and her team just doing amazing things. Luktos had a spelling bee. So we're just going to take stock of what has happened and how we can improve on the services and products that we will provide at our annual festival next year.
Can you just explain for the viewers how this database is going to work, and where are the books coming from, and how they can buy it, if they need to buy it?
Absolutely. So on the National Arts Council of Namibia website, NACN website, there is a button that says NACN Bookstore. Once you click on that, you will see all the books that are currently available, where they are available and how much they cost, a little introduction, the ISBN number. Should you want to load your own books, there is a contact detail of the National Arts Council of Namibia, where there will then be an email communication, so that if you should have 20 books, 3 books, 4 books that you know are well written, well published Namibian books, then the National Arts Council of Namibia Literature Committee will assist you in the process of uploading that book and then showcasing where it is available. So it's a very interactive process, and of course as a user we use the Literature Committee, Mrs. Greta Gaspar's details as the login entry. So you will have to click that Contact Us button, and through that Contact Us button, we will then start communicating with you should you want to load your books on the Namibian Literature Database.
So what I picked up when I visited the festival is that there were many self-published authors or people who don't even publish. They just write a story and print it out somewhere at a printing place. So what are you doing as the committee to encourage these people to use
real
or to
publishers? And this is exactly why we involved Mrs. Elena Mila on a workshop called The Future of Publishing, because as you say, that's self-printing. It's not really self-publishing, because a lot of the self-printers, they do not even invest in an editor, and as a result, a lot of the work is self-edited, and as a result, the quality is not of the standard that we would like it to be in order to ship it out. And when you're self-published, you usually don't have an ISBN number. So that is the reason why you have to go to, say, like someone like the Quisep publishers under the Namibian Scientific Society. Just knock on their door. They're right opposite the National Theatre of Namibia. On Robert Mugabe Avenue, you'll see a huge sign, the Namibian Scientific Society, and underneath the Quisep publishers. If you have a manuscript, knock on their door. If not their door, Unam Press. There are various publishers, and you can also find out from Book Den or other bookstores where are publishers in Namibia. Because if you have a good manuscript, they would actually love to take it off your hand and publish it for you, albeit first bringing in an editor to polish the work, because too many self-printed books have not been edited properly, and as a result do not even have an ISBN number.
Now, speaking about ISBN, we'll go for a quick break and then you'll come and explain, because not many of the viewers understand what ISBN is.
Absolutely.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Welkom jullie, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolen. Dit is donderdagse sportstrip nou. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Frans te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le Jean.
Daar rit je me kool.
Is dit nou onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld, we zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week. Gooi kool! Gooi kool!
There's music galore at the VIS Sports Fields come December, when Vocal Cast Production brings you SA's Mikasa, along with top local artists Paige, Jared G, and DJ Malza on December 2nd. If jazz is more your style, don't miss the smooth sounds of Few Jazz, Casey, Letitia, and Major Sevenths on the 3rd. You can enjoy each event individually, or you can easily make a weekend of the two. Get your tickets online via eticket.my.na or at the NMH offices in General Muhammad Murtala Avenue in Eros. Brought to you in conjunction with Republicane, Exhibition and Events Warehouse, Yango, DB Audio, and the Winter Country Club. See you there!
Stock up and save with the best deals at WB. Get 1 liter Vita Creamy for $11.99. 2 liter Nam Milk Omaere for $44.99. 200 gram top class spice mix for $11.99. 10 kg Hotchfelt maize for $84.99. Plus 2 kg surf washing powder for just $52.99. See more WB specials online at www.vurmanbrock.com. We care.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Welcome back. Now, if you've just joined us, we are speaking to Ms. Lize Ehlers. She's the Deputy Chair of the National Arts Council Literature Committee. She's talking to us about the two-day literary festival that took place over the weekend. Now, before we went on a break, Lize, you were talking about an ISBN
Yes.
number. Can you just explain to the viewers what exactly this is and why it is important?
So an ISBN number is like a little barcode with a little number that identifies your specific book and puts your specific book into the world of books that are out there. So it's literally like a barcode, but specifically for books. So, I mean, you can make your own hair gel and put it out there, but it won't go into the world market of hair gels with all the barcodes that any product in a shop needs, you know, in order to be recognized and to be sold and taken stock of. So an ISBN number is incredibly important for your book to be recognized on the international, can we say, system of books. And only registered publishers can hand out an ISBN number. So you as a self-publisher or as a self-printer, you can't just go and put a random number there. It's now an ISBN number, which means any sales of your book can be tracked with the ISBN number, because then you can also see how much you're contributing to the GDP through how many books are sold. And if you then go on Amazon and all those platforms internationally, your book is recognized internationally.
So, during this time, and as your work as, of the committee, are you working on developing a database as well for the publishers, so Namibians know where to go to?
100%. We've collaborated with so many people over the last couple of months, including the Trade Forum, who said, Ms. Stacey Pinto, who basically encouraged publishers to come together and sort of also publish at least a list, just an accessible list of publishers in the country, so that writers can reach out to these publishers and say, I think I have a brilliant book, it has been edited, could you take a look at my manuscript so that I can possibly publish through you and get an ISBN number. So we're definitely looking into publishing a list of publishers so that more writers can have access and it can be easily available. We're looking into that to also put that on the National Arts Council of Namibia Literature Committee database.
So as we close this interview, can you just share with us once again whether you are working, was it only the festival, or you as the committee, are you working on other activities as well lined up for the rest of the year or early next year?
I think definitely our first order of business is the post-mortem, to analyze what we can do better next year, and it will take another year to plan another festival. But I think our separate focus will lie on educating teachers, having some sort of short workshop for them on short script writing, you know, short story writing, so that this can be a beautiful, accessible thing for schools and scholars, because we saw the passion and how the eyes lit up when people heard their story being read, or when a young storyteller came and performed. So we would like to educate and share and promote short story writing and poetry writing, with the help, of course, of the experts in the industry, like Sylvia Schletwein, Helen Vales, Sarala Krishnamurti, Hugh Ellis, Molapong Khomotsi. We're going to use these experts to share the knowledge, so that more young writers can know how to write before they submit for next year's creative writing competition, so that it can be a beautiful shared experience and not something, oh, let me just write something so that I can possibly win some money. It's not going to be about that. It's about the wholesomeness of the story, and it's about telling the Namibian story, so that hopefully we can encourage a better reading culture. You asked me about that earlier. We would like to improve our reading culture in Namibia, because with today's technology, people don't want to read a real physical book. So it's just, there's still a lot of people who prefer it, but the young readers, everything is so fast and so digital. So we're trying to come to a place where, even if it's a Zoom storytelling corner, like Veronique is doing so well with her Bonastar Academy, we just want to consolidate efforts and see the build up until the next festival next year.
Thank you very much for joining us and sharing this insight with us, Lize.
Thank you very much. Reach out to us on the NACN bookstore on the National Arts Council of Namibia website.
Thank you for joining Evening Review once again. Have a good night.